I know Jim as he is a volunteer at Mercy, and I also know Jim because he is a member of our Patient Advisory Council at Mercy Medical Center, which I'm the facilitator of. He asked for kind of a special assignment as a volunteer to be able to go and visit people in the hospital, especially people who did not have any other visitors. And so he might be the only person that they see in their day while they're at the hospital. He had been in a facility after he had some of his own medical issues, and he was surrounded by his family, and many of the people that were in the same facility with him did not have anybody to come and visit him at all during their weeks there. And that's what he's known for. The nursing staff will definitely call him, especially if they have somebody that they identify as maybe alone and lonely. Hey, Jim, will you come up and visit this person? They could really use a little bit of you.
This last year, my mom had open heart surgery, and then she came back to the hospital because she got the flu, and then she came back to the hospital because she had a blood clot, and then she came back because she had a brain bleed. So we've been at the hospital at Mercy a lot, and the cool thing about Jim is that he's not just one of those volunteers that sits at the desk and waits for people to come to him. He goes out and finds people who need comfort and just who need a friend.
He was with us every day, and he's just an inspiration to all of us. And all of our family was there, and they all know Jim, and he's just a special servant.
I had had a stroke in May. When I came home that first week in July, Robert took me up to where I was in intensive care because I don't have no memories of it. We were talking, and this guy, James, kept popping up in the conversation. And I said, well, who is he? And he says, you know, Colleen, I really don't know. But we like connected. The second we seen each other, it was like a bond.
I just happened to be walking out of the ICU, and James was sitting at the table, and he stopped me and asked me how I was doing, and we started visiting. He's really friendly, outgoing, willing to help you in anything. And if he couldn't help you, he would go out of his way to find the help for us.
You know, he wouldn't care if you were a millionaire or if you didn't have anything. He's just there for you. He's just that kind of person.
You know, we have a big family, so Mom had that, but there's a lot of people up at the hospital that don't have anybody. They go through horrible surgeries and they don't have family members come in to see them, and so Jim is kind of their family.
He makes me maybe feel a little bit ashamed to ever complain about anything, because he has been through so much, and he still has that love of God. That's his calling, I think.
I think it's just who Jim is. You know, there's not two different Jims. He's just looking for ways to give to people and to show love to people and to give back to the Lord.
Probably my favorite story is of him visiting a gentleman that had been in our facility for some time and was kind of a cranky gentleman. And Jim would go just sit with him for an hour, come back, go see him again. The gentleman didn't hardly talk to him initially, and within a short period of time, they were having a great conversation, and a great friendship developed out of that, you know. That's Jim's gift, to be able to connect with another human being and, you know, let them know that they are valued, and, you know, whether they believe in God and they have a faith life or not, he doesn't impose that on them, but he always brings that into part of the conversation and shares that with them. And I think he's just a gift to us.
There was the times when Robert would leave the room, and I'm sure he was pretty down and out. Jim was always right there. He knows right when to come.
Or call.
Or call. It's amazing. Just right at the moment, boy, he's there. I owe a big thank you to Jim. Thank you, Jim, for all you do for not only us, but others as well.